Hello, everybody, and welcome to round 2 of OSDT.
Hello, everyone. The match just started, by the way.
Oh, shit. Okay, here we go. Ooh, we have some tempo. I like to see it.
Yeah, today we have Actuarily, who, I mean, do we even need to do introduction for Actuarily?
Our
One of the
very
most
own,
talented DOU players right now,
and our tier leader
and
himself
our
with a
tier leader.
Bronzong and Cleavor, which is actually like pretty popular right now. People like to use it.
Also, just disconnected.
Yeah, that's pretty normal. He plays on his phone, so like anytime he tabs out, he'll like DC. So
I didn't know that
yeah,
actually.
if
Was he
he
actually playing on his
He
phone?
does. He does everything on his phone.
Oh, okay. We got
So
some
if
phone gaming then.
so if he needs to do like a calc, he'll DC.
That's awesome. I like
Yeah.
that.
So if
Elodin, not known for doubles, actually known for his singles play, but is a very talented player and beat Frania last week, I believe, right? Pretty sure
uh
he beat Frania. Let me
yeah,
double
I
check.
don't know.
Yeah. Beat
So,
Frania last week. So Frania beat Frania into Actuarily. That's a rough two players to have to deal with early on in this tournament.
and then if he gets the upset here, that would be very impressive.
At that point, I'd say he's a front runner to obviously top cut and maybe even win it if you're able to take down both Frania and Actuarily, two of the best players.
Yeah, it's no slouch. So
Um, for Bronzong, weirdly enough, this doesn't look like the hardest of Trick Room teams out of Actuarially. It probably is still Trick Room because I could see a Trick Room mode on this. But sometimes they run like Iron Defense.
iron defense, like body press, something like that.
I don't remember if it still gets Body Press. I'm sure it does.
Oh, yeah.
But instead we see the Cleavor and the Palafin lead out of Actuarially, and we see the
Oh
Iron Hands and the
shit.
Landers.
Crap. Uh, my stream is a little messed up right now. Okay,
It's all good. It's all good.
here we go. Sorry about that, everybody.
Um, Cleaver's pretty cool because Cleaver gets a new move that when you use it, it sets up Stealth Rocks, and I believe that Stealth Rocks are super good in doubles. Used to be super underutilized, but nowadays everyone's using hazards. But yeah, it's a really cool one because it does really strong rock damage, which obviously Pokemon like Tornadus do not want to take. But Elodin's team's actually pretty good against that kind of Pokemon right now, or that kind of damage, that kind of rock damage coming at him. As we see just a straight up double switch from Actuarily, opting to get that Palafin mode off the bat and avoiding a fake out. Maybe it's not protect on the Cleaver. Trying to avoid that. And we see a booster energy off on the Flutter Mane, giving it a speed boost. And now we see a Moonblast. That's a Sulfest damage. And a Heavy Sim going off on the Flutter Mane getting a knockout here. We do see the body press. Just opting to get damage off on the Iron Hands. Iron Hands is one of the few Pokemon that actually is threatening to the Palafin. Palafin can get off like pretty much a KO on most of the Pokemon on the load side of the field as soon as the Iron Hand's gone, right?
Sorry.
You want me to keep going?
Yeah, no, sorry.
No, you're good. You're
My
good.
attention was drawn by the fact that I messed up the preview for the match. So
It is all good.
yeah,
Oh, we see substitute on the Landorus. Oh, that's actually such a big substitute because it avoids the spore. So now Elodin just gets a free sub up in Trick Room. Usually this is not where Landorus wants to be, especially against Pokemon like Bronzong and Among Us.
yeah, it's definitely
But
in a solid position now.
yeah, now it can just start spitting out damage. The only issue is I don't think it can touch the Bronzong. As we see, yeah, this is Actuality's main strategy, setting up the body press iron defense combo while also pollen puffing himself, allowing for Bronzong to now be at +2, probably going to go up to +4, and now a free spore can go off. And like I said, even though Landers is behind a sub, it does not touch Bronzong. So Bronzong can actually safely set up here, and I mean, Actuarily hasn't used his Terra yet, so if Heat Train comes in, you could probably just change your typing
Some like
if
a
you're worried about
Terrifier.
that. The only issue with Terrifier is there is still the Basket Legion on the other
That's
side of the
true.
field. As we see the Gyro Ball go out and the Spore getting asleep. That was a great turn actually. Just ignoring the Iron Hand side. And now Tornadoes can go for a Prankster Taunt if it's carrying it. But if it doesn't carry that, then honestly elodin might just get hit by the snowball of Trick Room being up and Among Us being able to freely just set up sleep turns.
Even if he does have the Prankster's Taunt, he still can still keep setting up Iron Defense. So,
Oh, we just see a switch straight out to
oh, okay.
Palafin. Do we see a taunt? We do not see a taunt. Oh, no, mind, we do. We see a protect from the Landorus, actually.
It's
And
weird
body
that
press only doing 18.
he
That's
taunts
awesome.
the Palafin and not the Bronzong.
Well, that was the Among Us. He was trying to stop the spores, I believe.
Hmm.
Um, and now Elodin in a fantastic, or in a very rough situation because this Bronzong being at +2 defense, Gyro is probably going to do a ton to Landers if he happens to do that. Palafins can get a knockout in the Tornado slot very easily. And you don't want anything taking jet punches on the back outside of maybe the Basket Legion.
Yeah, that Lando's pretty much gone no matter what.
Oh, we see. Okay. Wait, it's faster?
Huh? Oh.
That's either a Choice Scarf Palafin or that is a very slow Tornadus. Which I would make sense. Some people have to run more bulk on Tornadus. But we see damage get on the Basket Legion, and Basket Legion can't do the one thing it's known for, which is last respect. Because everything is still alive on a load inside the field. This is kind of the worst situation to be in with Basket Legion. And now the question is, what is Actuarily going to opt to do? Which I believe is just going to be a Rage Powder plus another Trick Room, right?
Let me think for a second. Yeah, Rage Powder would be good. Last Respects isn't doing anything to that Bronzong.
You also still have your
Quinn
Terra.
Storm doesn't really do anything either. Yeah, actually, I probably should set Trick Room here again.
I don't know how you really come back from that because if you can Rage Powder, get up another Trick Room, and sometimes these Among Us even carry the Grass move. So Basket Legion could be threatened by like a strong Leaf Storm or
Yeah,
Energy
Leaf Storm
Ball.
or Giga Drain, yeah.
Rage Powder does go up. We see the taunt go out, and now we're going to see the Trick Room go right back up, just like you said. This is very well played by Actuarily, but Elodin's doing a good job just mitigating the damage. We also see there's no leftovers on the Bronzong. I wonder if it's like goggles. I think it's quite possible.
Yeah, it does look like a goggle set to me. I'm pretty sure it is.
So here's the issue with Heat Train coming in. I'm pretty sure Heat Train just feints to a +4 body press. While the other Heat Train is obviously being threatened by anything Iron Hands does, unless you Terra it. That's the cool thing. I believe both players still have their Terra, right?
That's correct, yeah. Oh, I should
So
install.
I'm 99% sure this both Heat Trans may Terra here. If not, we'll see the Bronzong Terra predicting the possible opposing Heatran to Terra. Most of them usually carry just Grass Terra, which is very strong on it because it has a Flash Fire. And in this case, both Heatrans would resist Earth Power as well if they both Terra, meaning they'd both just kind of sit there in front of each other. Even though Trick Room's up, I think Actually is actually in the on a rough spot because Iron Hands is so slow and so powerful.
Yeah, nobody's used their Terra yet, so.
Yeah, I think that if there's any turn to ever think for Actuary, it's probably this one. I think this turn's actually going to decide most of the game.
I agree
This
with
is the
that.
very pivotal turn. What are we looking at in terms of health? We still Landorus is asleep, but it's used 2 turns of sleep already. But besides that, Actually has some Pokemon that are in like the 60s range. While
Ooh,
oh, there it is.
electric. that's electric. That's interesting.
Huh, I wonder why it's electric.
Ooh,
Oh,
big
it's 'cause of
burn.
burn. That's a huge burn.
Very huge burn.
That burn might actually decide the game right there because,
It completely neuters its offense.
yeah, before the burn, you actually had a play where you could just constantly pollen puff plus attack the bronze, attack the Heatran,
And just keep
guarantee a
setting Trick
knockout.
Room.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is like he would have to decide who he wants to body press, but well, we see what he decided there.
Does he still palm puff the Heatran slot? No, he palm puffs the Bronzong slot anyway. Drain Punch does nothing. Heat Wave's gonna get the knockout on the Among Us and do a decent chunk to Bronzong, no longer able to heal itself.
Yeah, and his defensive counterplay is like really limited now, so I think
I don't
this one's gonna go to elodin.
Yeah, I don't see much you can do. This is kind of the reason why you don't see much Bronzong. It's kind of hard to set up and get a lot going with it. It's like a one-man army, but you need that Trick Room up and you need to be able to hit those resistances. This is where probably the Terra Electric wasn't as good as Terra Fire. I'm trying to think, why would you run Terra Electric?
Electric is maybe.
I mean, the one thing I can think of is, I mean, Electric plus Levitate, it has no weaknesses, but its resistances are so rough because you only resist electric and flying, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And Earth Power doing nothing because that isn't assault vest, Iron Hands, and yeah, this
Oh,
game
you
I
resist
think it's over.
steel? I
Oh,
mean,
and Steel, yeah, yeah, you are right, and Steel as well. But Steel not known as
it's
the
not
best
very
offensive
relevant
type, man.
here.
Yeah, you already resist Steel without
He
terroring.
couldn't know that. So, but on this team, I don't really see the need for a electric Terra.
As I think this game's actually going to be a straight up 6-0 at this point. Look at this.
That's wild.
Body press only doing 22%. Cleaver is on the field, but
There's not enough
even if it
tempo
gets the
there
rocks up,
to.
we see a double protect too. Heavy Slam
Oh,
go off, get the knockout. Elodin wants the 6-0, I think. I don't
definitely,
think it's
yeah.
gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen because Palafin can come out, but yeah, there's the GG.
Great game from Elodin there.
What a statement. What a statement from Elodin. A singles player who's coming out here beating Frania round one. And now 6-0ing our tier leader round two in game one. Looking so strong. What the heck was that? Um, if you're actually, are you gonna run something a little more standard next game, you think? Or you think you're gonna opt for something more your style?
That's pretty experimental, I guess. I haven't seen anything like that so far in the games I've watched. So,
Mm. I think actually, if I was actually, I'd probably opt to run maybe. Well, I mean, the team that Elodin ran was pretty weak to Ursaluna plus Trick Room if it gets up.
yeah.
So maybe you opt to just abuse Ursaluna. We didn't see a single Ursaluna that game too, which is surprisingly
Mm.
enough.
Its usage has been like pretty high, but it wasn't as high as I expected it to be. And here's game two with a more standard team comp, and we have an Earthworm. You love to see that.
Whoa, okay. All right. Well, we have, as you said, Earthworm, so it's probably Earthquake on the Ursaluna then.
Yeah, it could be like double ground stab.
And then on the Actuarily side, we have a Rain team. I can't remember the last time I've seen a Rain team. That's sick. If I remember correctly, Landorus's new spread move is 100% accuracy in Rain.
Yeah, that's
I know the
correct.
other two are. It is? Okay. Um, but this is probably like worst case scenario to have this Landorus because Earthworm, it heals off of ground moves. So you can just switch in, heal yourself up. You have that shed tail probably. That you like to run iron defense too. As you see this, the Iron Hands and the Cresselia lead into Basque Legion and Pelipper. Oh, is this gonna be like Terra Water, maybe?
It could definitely be, yeah. But then you lose. Well, there's no way you fake out a Basket Legion. I don't know. That'd be a really big call to make if you're gonna make it.
Oh, this is interesting. I actually, to be honest, I think elodin has the edge in this matchup. I don't see how you deal with Amoonguss and Trick Room if you lose
Oh,
the.
Terragrass, yeah, and that does
Ooh.
still a massive amount of damage.
Oh, we see a double though, but it
Oh,
lives.
Hurricane and a
Does it, it's
Confusion.
gonna hit itself? No, it doesn't. And Basque Legion goes down turn one. So does the Iron Hands, but
It's a pretty good trade because it's big for the King Gambit in my opinion on Actuary's side because I'm a big fan of King Gambit right now. I think it's absolutely fantastic in this meta.
I think more importantly too, Actuarily doesn't have to worry about Terra, right?
Yeah, that's a
So now you can kind
Terra
of play around
God.
that. Palafin coming in, probably gonna flip turn off. Yep, flip turn right out of there. Flip turn's pretty cool in doubles because you can get the damage off and a free switch, and you can kind of pivot off of that however you feel fit. Well, we're gonna probably see the Trick Room go up. Yeah, we are. But to be honest, this is a pretty bad situation for a load-in because nothing wants to come in on a fake out plus Hurricane on that Amoonguss slot. Maybe the Earthworm?
Yeah, the Earthworm could definitely go in there, but it's a
The
really
issue,
obvious. It's really
what we
obvious that you green that in there. So,
do you think there might be a read? Oh, what
ooh,
is
okay.
this? Oh, it's goggles. Oh,
Ooh,
okay.
that's cool.
As you see the double ground to the Amoonguss, and this is very, very bad for a load-in because Amoonguss is your only way of dealing with Palafin and Rain at this point. Earthworm's not threatening much damage on either of these Pokemon.
I definitely would have put it in the Amoonguss slot there, the Earthworm, not the Crest slot.
Yeah, Crest wasn't really too threatened. It could always Lunar Blessing up.
It's like you take a U-turn or something there, maybe, but
At that point, like I said, you're Amoonguss though, right? Your Amoonguss is the only way you're really dealing with that Palafin.
yeah,
And now with that switch, I don't know how you come back from this situation. Actually threatening so much damage. You can't spore anything. Earthworm could set up a Shed Tail, but if it gets attacked into here, which it probably will, then you're just getting a free switch to Ursaluna, but at what cost, right?
yeah, that's just completely dead weight on the field right now, and you don't. What do you bring in? I mean, you
You know,
just
actually, there is grassy terrain up. Maybe it's Leaf Storm.
yeah, it could be.
Leaf Storm plus an attack into the Pelipper might actually get the knockout on it, right?
Yeah, but what attack?
Probably be like, I don't know. They usually. Whoa,
Oh, hello there.
whoa. What is this? We
Well,
do see the Iron Defense,
Rage
but
Powder in front of a Goggles Mon and a Grass Mon, so I guess
to
oops. It's a big oops right there.
be fair, that is one of the odder mechanics that comes into
Yeah.
doubles. A load-in, not a doubles main. But still, can Pollen pop himself back up? Body press
Yeah,
does
that's good.
40.
70. Oof.
But yeah,
The
that
moon
Hydra
just
Pump's doing so much
barely
damage.
survives. I would
I
I
think.
would definitely get the well, if you get the Amoonga, I don't know what you put in, just the Crest, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, huh.
Being at
Okay.
10 is good.
The thing with the Landorus is Landorus doesn't, unless it's like, does it even get Focus Blast? It should, right?
I would think it does. It's usually he usually gets it.
We see it,
Ooh, what does it shed to?
but it loses the boost, right? Crest
Yeah,
comes in.
nice miss.
I'm a little confused, but like I still get it. Crest comes in for free, can set up another Trick Room. That was one of the main issues that elodin was going to have. Trick Room was about to go down, and you didn't have a safe way of setting it up. I'm still confused by Actuarily bringing out the Landers, because you're just going to heal the Earthworm if you catch it switching in on a ground move. Rain down, so Pelipper probably wants to get out of here at some point. You have a pretty free switch if you want. As we see a substitute and the Hydro Pump predicting a switch on the Amoonguss slot, Trick Room goes up. And now you have to deal with this Cresselia behind the sub. The only thing is, Cresselia behind sub isn't that scary.
No, it's just gonna lose it because it's just gonna sit on the field. Guess you could just heal up the Among Us. Just heal each other. No, okay.
Side Shock doesn't even break the sub as we see the Amoonguss go down here. And a Sludge Bomb breaking the sub on the Cresselia slot. Yeah, I think this is pretty much over for elodin. I don't think elodin's realized yet, but
Yeah.
this is the power of Palafin. Like the King Gambit comes in on this slot, Protect goes off to get the boost from burn. But all Axe really needs to do is get Rain back up on the field, and I'm pretty sure Palafin just says, pick how you want to lose. Choose your Saluna slot, whatever comes in on that slot is gonna faint to
It's
a
gonna take
Rain
a
boosted.
lot to like a Sucker Punch and then whatever here.
I don't even think anything on Elodin's side of the field besides the Cresselia can tank a Jet Punch in Rain.
No.
So I think this game's going to come down to the fact that Elodin did not keep the Amoonguss healthy for late game.
Yeah, he needed to pull out way earlier.
As you see the Pelipper come in, this is definitely just to... Ooh, Earthworm though. Gonna Earthquake? No, Headlong Rush. Sludge Bomb! Oh, but it's a Steel type, so it doesn't even matter. Again, this is what's weird about the Landers coming in. Landers can't touch the Earthworm, and you can't use your signature move because you're just gonna heal it. So it's just sitting there. And I'm assuming the Ursaluna has Earthquake, but both Pokemon on the opposing side of the field are flying types. Trick Room ends in one turn. I don't see an out. Maybe you see something. I don't.
No. I mean, probably like quote safe play would have been to facade the Lando slot, uh, but the obvious play is to bring in the King Gambit there, which Actuarily did. So, and that's a safe play for him. So I don't really know.
I think this is just about over.
Yeah, it's
This
getting pretty
is
cooked right now.
this is the worst situation to be in if you're a load-in.
No,
Both these
it's Jet
Pokemon
Punch
are
kills, and then
so strong.
you can kowtow the like you can set up Trick Room again. You get kowtowed, and I don't know.
Wait, I just realized something. What if we see an ally switch?
Nope.
No, we don't see the ally switches. We're just gonna see the double on the Cresselia slot. That's a safe play. Actually thought of that. That's crazy. I respect that. I respect that though.
Ooh,
Not even losing to King Gambit here. Oh, that would have been so crazy, but actually covering for that play very smartly. I respect that flip turn. Opting to say, yeah, I could go for like a jet punch or something on your Ursaluna slot, or maybe a flip turn, like threatening a knockout. But if you do ally switch and like earthquake me, then I just lose on the spot. I respect that. I respect that. That's very well played. King Gambit now. I believe King Gambit, because it's probably Black Glasses, threatens a knockout on the Flutter main too.
yeah, I think
This thing is strong, dude.
it's incredibly strong. It can just like take 3 or 4 kills a game, like if you put it in the right position. No, it doesn't do that here, I don't think, but at like full
Uh,
health, it can.
it could get all three if it wanted to.
Yeah.
And yeah, we see a switch out to Earthworm. Oh, it's Sash actually. So it gets a knockout, but again, we're at the same issue where Orthworm goes down, Ursaluna comes in, Jet Punch threatens a knockout on Fluttermane, Woodhammer threatens a knockout on Well, maybe not a knockout on Ursaluna, but
You don't think Jet Punch kills?
well, I think you Jet Punch the Fluttermane, right? Yes, we
Yeah.
do. I mean, I'm definitely overvaluing just how bulky Ursaluna is. I think it's gonna faint to this here.
Yeah.
Oh, it dies to just a Jet Punch. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm definitely overestimating it.
Like it's bulky, but I think it was banned as well. So the way he was
Yeah, I'm
playing
pretty
it,
sure it was banned.
so that helps a lot. All right, on to game three. This has been a really good series so far. So
I think Elodin lost that again just because of the poor Among Us play.
yeah,
Again, doubles is kind of hard. There's some mechanics that you definitely don't see in singles, such as Rage Powder. As soon as we saw the goggles, I think Elodin should have known do not Rage Powder.
yeah,
But
it's just
Actuarily played
slight
super
knowledge
well.
gap there.
Honestly, though, still super well played from Elodin so
Yeah,
far. I respect
that
the
was a good
play.
fight. That was a good fight.
Yeah. Oh, game three already up.
Oh, here we
Going
go.
right into it.
We have a very aggressive team on both sides. So
Yeah, Loden going for the Flutter Chi, and then double Genie, and then Iron Hands again. I guess Loden really likes Iron Hands, which I don't blame him. Iron Hands is a very cool Pokemon, very strong. Iron Hand on both sides, actually. And again, no Ursaluna. Only one so far this whole series.
I'm terrified
And
of that thing not getting banned.
all right, so this is actually really interesting because I'm pretty sure Elodin could run away with this with just straight up Flutter Chi. I don't see the best options with dealing with it on Actually side of the field, especially if it's Terra, let's say, grass on the Iron Hands.
I think Elodin has like a slightly or maybe pretty favorable matchup here. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of how Actually gets going because most of the Pokemon on Elodin side of the field are threatening a knockout on the Goldango, with the
Yeah.
exception of if it's Terra Water,
It
which
looks like a
sometimes they are.
5v6 kind
Yeah.
of.
However, both teams are super offensive, so it's very possible that it could just end up being a very fast-paced
It's
game.
gonna be a real quick one.
And this lead is so good for Elodin. Threatening fake out could threaten a knockout here if you do it right. Maybe it's running a rock move on Landorus, but it's probably just Stealth Rocks.
I wonder if we see like a Ghost Chi or something to block the fake out.
We see a switch out to... Okay, this is a good switch. We see a double switch. And there is the Stealth Rock. Stealth
That's a
Rock's
great
very
punish.
useful. Oh god, I don't... I think that Elodin might run away with this if played right. I know it's early on, but Chi Yu doesn't want to take rocks. Or Tornadus doesn't want to take rocks. Even
Yeah,
Landers doesn't want
that's
to
a
take rocks.
huge punish because like you break the sash if the Torn was ever sash. Could be cloak, but oh,
Oh, that's a big crit
big
though.
crit, big crit.
Only 36% off of that U-turn. Not never punished. So you see U-turn go out. It's probably gonna be Iron Hands. And then
Oh,
a U-turn. Oh, it
barely
lives.
lives.
That's huge because now you can set up a tailwind for yourself for later on. Lives on 2%. U-turn going out. Are we gonna see a switch to maybe Chiyu? No, we're gonna see Goldango actually.
Hmm,
Interestingly
it's
enough,
kind of passive. Maybe it's like Scarf.
it could be Scarf. It could also be sitting here thinking, okay, you can't really touch me. You can do damage, but you can't KO me. I set up a maybe a nasty plot, and then I can try to run away with this game. Are we going to see a nasty plot come out on the Goldango slot? Yes, we are.
Oh,
Okay,
it's
so he's,
nasty plot. Okay, yeah.
we're going to see him try to run away with this game. Tailwind does go up. Again, these Pokemon do not want to be switching into these Stealth Rocks. Stealth Rocks is huge right now. I
Yeah,
don't think Tornadus gets a knockout either.
Chi's already so frail. That's pretty rough for it.
Yeah. Iron Hand's sitting here pretty. I'm pretty sure every single Iron Hands has been Assault Vest so far from elodin.
Yeah,
So I wouldn't be surprised if this one is also Assault Vest.
yeah. The Swords Dance set is just not really that good right now, especially not on a team like this.
Yeah, I could see a more support oriented one. Trying to think here, like here's the one good thing Actuarily has going for him at this point. +2 Goldango, what's switching in on that? Basically nothing. In fact, if it Shadow Balls instead of Make It Rains into the correct slot, then literally nothing switches in on this Pokemon.
And what switches in on the Lando and the Golden Go? That's pretty well.
I'm pretty sure this game's gonna come down to like Tailwind,
You might
and
just
with
have to sack something here.
yeah, I don't. I mean, Iron Hands is so slow that even though there's a Tailwind up, it might not be able to abuse it, and I don't think Tornadus' signature move gets the Lando here. I might be wrong. It's only neutral, so I doubt it. And then getting doubled into the Iron Hands, that's just a knockout on it, and that Pokemon's kind of important, I think, for like some of the back mons, but at the same time, also, I think you're just trying to sweep late game. As you see the Grass Terra,
Ooh,
it
oh,
misses.
brutal miss.
We see the hit.
But a miss from.
Oh, it's faster than the Goldango. And then Make It Rain goes off and it gets the knockout. This is actually kind of good for a load-in, I think. Because even though you lose your Tailwind option, you get a free switch with Chiyu here. Yeah, there it is. And now you're
This is
confirmed
super
faster.
dangerous.
In fact, I don't even think getting the KO there on the Torn was good. I think you'd actually want it to live, right? As you see the sack on the Lando here. Yeah, honestly, the miss means that Actually doesn't get a free switch last turn,
Yeah.
which it's actually kind of worse. But now we see the Iron Hands come in, and the cool thing about again using your Terra very early for Elodin is for Actually at least is that now you don't have to worry about the Ghost. Elodin using his Terra too early, so we don't have to worry about Ghost Terra on the Chi-Yu avoiding the fake out. Now we know you can just safely fake out. And the question is, are we going to see another nasty plot? I think
This
that's the
turn's going to be
best
really
play.
decisive, I think.
I think if you're actually you're trying to stall at the turn of Tailwind and you're trying to give yourself another turn to set up a nasty plot and then protect. So I'm pretty sure it's just going to be a fake out on the Chi-Yu and a nasty plot up. We might see the Iron Hands go for a Drain Punch onto the opposing Iron Hands, get some damage off, which would be good for the next turn. However, you cannot lose this Chi-Yu, as we see a Protect on it, which is interesting. Wild Charge going on the
Ooh,
Goldango,
it's
it ends up being
citrus.
Citrus. And we see a Shadow Ball getting a knockout. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't think in Actuality's position you want to get the knockout on the Iron Hands that turn. Just because now you're in this situation. And the only way this is good is if it's Terra Fire on the Iron Hands. Yeah, I don't think I like that KO there. I think that KO is kind of bad.
I
Yeah,
think Actually could just run away with this now, maybe.
I don't know. It's the issue is if the Iron Hands can live the double here. If it's Terra Fire, then that was definitely the correct play. Good. Oh, we see a Protect. We don't see a Terra. Moonblast going into it.
Oh, 88.
Yeah, and this is the
Can't
issue I was talking about.
believe.
And now Tornadus comes in. I guess this is the other way you can run away with it. Tornadus comes in, Terra into water maybe with the Goldango. You threaten a knockout here. Oh, we don't even see a Terra. And this tanks the hit.
Nah,
We
nah. I thought maybe once he got Tailwind up, it could be rough, but the Chi isn't doing as much damage. to the other Chi.
Okay, here's the one situation I can see. Tailwind's up, no Terra used. If this Chi Yu is possibly maybe a grass Terra, then you can terrestrialize with your Chi Yu on Actuarily slide, and you could threaten a sweep. But I think this is the only way. It has to be a Terra that resists the Aqua Jet, or just makes Aqua Jet not get the knockout here. If it's Terra Fire, I can think the game just ends because then you just lose all of your Pokemon.
This guy in chat. Got a little bit of shit posting.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this Chi Yu on Actuarily side needs to Terra for this game to end in his favor.
I wonder if just a neutral Terra would save it.
Possibly. Basque Legion, even though it's strong, I don't think it's strong enough to get knockout 75% with Aqua Jet. This is it. I think it all comes down to to actually going for the right Terra here. Not even thinking, already used this move. 3 turns of Tailwind. I'm pretty sure Rillaboom will be faster than Chi on the opposing side of the field. Or elodin. And then, oh, how much health is the Landers? The Landers is still at 100 though. This has to be like Grass Terra, I think. It's the only way of winning this game. Actually, might be losing to elodin. Elodin might be beating 2 of the top DOUers. I just see the switch.
Oh,
It is
there's
Grass
Terra
Terra.
Grass.
Dark Pulse doing 83%. I don't think that was the right switch from elodin because now your Landers is taking damage. And now all of a sudden a situation where it's looking super favorable for elodin, I think is looking bad. You're getting thrown with a double knockout.
Maybe the play is to preserve the Chi-Yu, and just sack the other stuff, and then clean up with it in endgame.
I think you're right. It might come down to a Chi speed tie then, right?
Yeah, it's pretty nasty, but that's probably the out at this point. I don't really like it, but
And then Rillaboom also healing up slowly.
or unless the Basque Legion is Scarf and you just go for the last respects.
Nope, here it is right
Nope.
here. Do we see another? We do. We see another
Ouch.
Woodhammer. Oh, okay.
Or
This is.
the Dazzling Gleam, maybe?
Oh my God, what is gonna happen here?
The double
I think
protect.
you're right.
Yeah.
Is this Fluttermane choice specs? It's possible it's just choice specs and it is forced to take the hit, faint here possibly, and then Chiyu Lake. Oh my God, is this gonna come down to a speed
I think it
tie?
is.
I think that Chiyu still lives a move from the opposing Chiyu for a Elodin because it's gonna be low, but I don't think it's low enough to faint.
Just depends a lot on whether it's specs or yeah, it wasn't booster, so it's got to be specs, right? Or pixie plate, I guess, but I
That
don't know
was a
about
lot of
that.
damage on the Iron Hands,
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I forgot about the
even
88%
though it
Iron
is
Blast.
super effective. Oh my God, what is gonna happen here? This is the most intense end
Well,
game.
Actuarily got Tailwind up, so
Yeah, but just for one more turn, does the Elodin know to double or to protect with the Chi-Yu and go for that outcome?
God, I hope
I don't
so.
know.
He's taking his time, so
This might be an insane end game. Protecting gives Rillaboom one more turn of healing, but I think even if it is Assault Vest, it might not tank the Heat Wave anyway. Like I think because Chi is so strong, especially with the yeah, it should never tank the Heat Wave. I don't see it ever doing that. Grass Terror on the
no way.
Chi-Yu. That was a good bait by Elodin too, forcing it to Terra into grass. If it was dark, if it was Water Terra,
Oh, there's a protect.
it's gonna eat this. Do we see the double into it? We
Nope.
do see the double.
Okay. All right,
Oh
here it
my God,
comes.
it
Here it
might come down to a
comes.
flinch.
Good luck.
It's gonna. I don't think it faints to this, so it's probably just gonna be a. It comes down to a flinch. You have to outspeed it and
Or a
flinch.
miss. Oh man, the miss. Don't
Oh, it
miss.
could be
Don't
overheat.
tie. Oh.
Arc Pulse. It gets a
Oh!
crit. Did that matter? I don't know how much it does. Oh my god.
Oh, that's brutal.
Oh, 1 second, 1 second. We had to look at the calc for this. 1 second.
Oh man,
I
what
do
an
not know my Chi
ending.
calcs. What an
Um,
ending. 1 second. I'm pulling up the calc right now.
I would probably
Chi.
just calc like maybe 4 HP at most.
Yeah, let me just see here. Chi versus Chi.
What a hype
Um,
series.
Life Orb, Dark Pulse. Okay, on your standard 4 HP Chi, Dark Pulse from a Life Orb Chi, unless it is modest, is only doing 34 max.
Oh, bailed. Absolutely bailed.
Oh my god, that is so unlucky. Yeah, it says here only 34 max from Dark Pulse. So elodin was that close? What are these games? This tournament's been
15?
crazy.
Was that 1 out of 16 chance?
Yeah.
Oh,
I won the
that's,
speed tie if it was a speed tie. It may have been it may have been modest on the Chi. We probably won't ever know.
I suppose, yeah.
Unless they were both modest. Imagine if they were both modest. Then
Wow.
Dark Pulse still doesn't have a chance of knocking out. Oh my god, what a game. That's a
Yeah.
crazy.
That was an
I
unfortunate ending, but that was a really, really great set.
There was still the possibility of a flinch even if it didn't crit, but
Yeah.
or a miss too. You also had to hit both heat waves. So I guess actually in a way, um yeah, I guess in a way it was almost even. I don't know the exact math behind it,
Yeah.
but you had to get everything as a load in too, but you also had to get everything as actually. What a game though, what a series. That's insane. That was an insane end game. Yeah, they're showing the calc in the Discord and DOU right now.
Hmm.
Even if you're modest, it was 8 or 38 max to the Chi, and it was at the Chi had 40%. That's insane. That's insane. Well, still, I gotta say, huge props to Elodin being a singles player.
Pushing it to the edge like that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, beat Frania round one. Frania is one of the best doubles OUers of all time. One of the best players to do it. And Elodin beat them round one, and then actuarially, wait,
Oh,
oh
actually.
yeah,
Yeah.
beats doesn't activate against opposing Chi, right?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, actuarially, actually didn't know that. It didn't. That's crazy. Yeah, one of the things about the rune Pokemon is that they are immune to their own abilities. So even if you have a Chi-Yu versus another Chi-Yu, your Chi-Yu, even though they have the ability up to, is immune to the opposing Chi-Yu's ability. So it still only does neutral damage instead of the boosted damage. But yeah, that's crazy though. Actually, bring it down to the wire. I mean, not actually Elodin, but I mean both of them really. I think Elodin is definitely capable of making it into playoffs just with how good they're playing. Especially because
Yeah.
the scary thing is they're learning, right? I mean, constantly learning is a big deal. That game too was 100% winnable if they played it a little bit better. But it was just all things they don't know because they're not a doubles player. They didn't know about the Rage Powder not affecting safety goggles and grass Pokemon.
Yeah, I don't know like if they're in a like a group or something, but if they can like find somebody that's to help them more, they could do really well.
Yeah, I have high hopes for them. I'm very impressed. That was a very fun series, and the fact that it came down to a crit. I mean, like I said, it could have flinched. They could have, or Loden could have missed. A lot of things could have happened there to decide it. It was still a speed tie probably too, but oh my god, what a series! And we're not even done. We still have another series coming up
That's
in
true.
14 minutes.
Z and Mizu.
That is going to be a crazy series too. Both
Yeah,
very talented players.
I am very much looking forward to that series.
Are you going to reset for that one and
Um,
change it?
yeah, I'll turn off the stream. Let's break for 12, 15 minutes or whatever, and then we'll be back.
All right, sounds good.
All right, see everybody later in a bit.